My name is Erick Arbé, and I'm a web developer, and my company is Arbé Digital, and we do web development for small businesses. And I'm excited to talk about my new company, which is a new startup called Willio. What motivated me to start my own company, I actually have an exact point of what started me off, was a boss that I did not like, and he was the motivation to never work for anybody ever again. And it was at a golf course, and actually I probably shouldn't say where and when, but it was 2009, and it was the worst experience I've ever had as a boss or working for someone, and it made me want to start my own company, and I did then and there. I quit that job, I got into web development, found a business partner that I'd known from college, and we just went off and running. We took the leap. And in terms of like the whole journey, and I kind of always knew that I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I had started web development. I started actually a piece of software back when I was in golf, and I had the company in Pakistan build it for me. Paid like $15,000 for it. That hurt because I did not recoup that money. But I knew that even though I didn't make it with that was the path for me. You know, going down my own road, doing my own thing. So it took a while to get to where I am now, but I don't know if it's necessarily in your DNA to be an entrepreneur, but there is something to be said for somebody that wants to do their own thing, because there are a lot of people that can't and probably shouldn't do their own thing. They need to work for somebody, they need that structure, because you do need to have a lot of self-discipline. That is like one of the biggest things that I think, and a lot of that comes from my background in golf too. Is, you know, it's kind of a solo sport, not a team sport, so you need that self-discipline. Maybe that's where I learned it from, but I know you need to have that discipline to wake up every day and say, all right, this is my task list. Nobody's giving you a list of things to do. You have to come up with it yourself. Our first business, Golf Web Design, is what we started as. Now we're Arbé Digital. It's the same company essentially, but we started off doing just websites for golf courses and golf pros. And I know the exact moment that made us start that. I got an email, just an email blast from some PGA pro doing exactly what we started doing, and it was websites for golf courses. It was just a general blanket email to all PGA pros. Hey, we'll build your website for $300, you know, blah, blah, blah. This is what you get. And I literally forwarded that email to my friend, and I said, hey, we can do this. Let's do it better. This guy, I look at his stuff. It's terrible. The design is awful. It's bad. I said, we can do it ourselves. So we did. I literally still have that email saved from like 2009. And that was literally the impetus for that business, for starting in web development. So one of the funny things being in web design is people always pitch me funny ideas like, oh, I have the eBay for, you know, solo cups, or the weird, you know, just strange innovations. And a lot of them are bad, because I've tried things, I've tried businesses, and I know what might work and what doesn't. Well, a lawyer in town came to me and said, I have this idea for digital wills. And he said, right now, federally, they're legal, but on the state level, they're not. Soon they will be, eventually. And he's on the board to try to push digital wills through. He said, I want to be ready when that legislation comes to pass. He said, I'm working on a platform to build your will online and to make it all digital. I said, beautiful. I love the idea. Let's partner up. So we did. And this is right around the time I was buying out my business partner. And so fast forward to now, Willio is launched, willio.com. And it's basically a platform right now that works within how you have to do a will right now. In South Carolina, you have to print out your will, wet signature, and then store that in a lockbox somewhere. That's your actual will. It has to be a piece of paper. It can't be digital right now. So that's how it works. You go through this beautiful workflow, ask you all the questions. It's one simple price. You can clone your account for your spouse to do theirs, and it works for the majority of everybody. For some people, high net worth people, it doesn't work. You still want to go to a lawyer, things like that. But for most everybody, especially with kids, what I've learned now, like, you have to have a will if you have kids. It's perfect. So that's what it does. But now kind of the roadmap for V2 is digital wills. So when that does become legal, we'll be ready. So that's really kind of exciting to me, that piece of software. So we're kind of growing that on the side. He's a full-time estate planning attorney. I'm a web developer with a business. So we work on that in our spare time, and that's kind of growing. And the one day, obviously the goal is to really grow that, because that's a very exciting market, kind of the law tech market.